Mike's on? Okay, we'll go ahead and bring the City Council meeting to order. We'd like to first ask everyone to stand and join in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Phyllis, can you please do roll call?
Craig Koshaw.
Here.
Matt Dyer.
Here.
Tyler Fulenkamp.
Here.
Scott Murray.
Here.
Wiley Clerk.
Here. Was everyone given a chance to review the minutes from the previous meeting on May 2nd?
Making a motion to accept them as emailed.
Second. Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. Well, we have a special guest here again. This is not her first, second, or third time. She's been here quite a bit, but just tell everyone who you are.
I'm Victoria Heyman, and I'm a senior at Belmont High School, and I'm on the Mary's Youth Council.
Thanks for coming. She's got some ideas. She's going to do some. She's going to do a couple of her own projects. So it's, I'm excited to have her here. So thanks. Okay. We have a couple resolutions. One to establish a threshold for capital assets.
And Phyllis has, I think, the financial resolution. I'll get to it.
Is it a resolution or ordinance?
Resolution.
Resolution, I think.
Yeah.
It should be number 5.
This is 2023-5.
That's
I gotta think about Nan's was 4, so 20. Yes.
Is it? What I have is it would be 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. I'll make a motion to introduce Resolution 2023-5 by short title only.
I'll second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Resolution 2023-5, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Decatur, Indiana, establishing a capital assets policy.
Okay, I'll make a motion to pass Resolution 2023-5.
I'll second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And we have another resolution to transfer funds within the LIT Public Safety.
I'll make a motion to introduce Resolution 2023-6, short title only.
I'll second.
This is a transfer that the police department originally budgeted $40,000 to upgrade the network system at the Decatur Police Department, but no longer needed it. So Kevin requested to leave $5,000 in an infrastructure account and then transfer $35,000 to the machinery and equipment, and that would pay for the remaining cost for replacement and equipment they needed for the new vehicle.
Well, new vehicle is better than a cage.
And I'm sorry, you've already introduced that. No, all right. Resolution 2023-6, a resolution authorizing the transfer of funds within the LIT Public Safety Fund.
Make a motion to pass Resolution 2023-6.
I'll second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay.
Did you second the first one?
Yes.
What order are you in to the annexation? Is that,
We can do that.
which one do you want to do first?
When you introduce the petition, and I'm not sure if Clayton had talked about,
We can do this first if we want to.
I don't think he was going to make it, so I can introduce the petition for annexation. That's fine.
I told him if I looked out and saw him, didn't see him, that I could discuss that.
Well, let's stick on the resolutions while we're hot. We have one to amend the employee handbook.
Well, I'll make a motion to introduce Resolution 2023-7 by short title only.
I'll second with.
Okay, motion is second for 2023-7. All in favor?
Aye.
All the same sign.
Resolution 2023-7, resolution of the Common Council of the City of Decatur, Indiana, which amends the City of Decatur Employee Handbook dated January 1, 2018.
Make a motion to pass Resolution 2023-7.
I'll second. Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. Okay, we have an application declaratory resolution for an economic revitalization area designation from IO Properties LLC and IO Enterprises LLC. So, we have Colton Bickle from Economic with him. Is that mic on? Do we know?
Just have a red dot on.
Okay. Okay. Ian, you want to start or Colton start?
Okay. So IO Properties collectively, IO Properties LLC and IO Properties, or IO Enterprises, IO Properties Enterprises LLC are the applicants. They've submitted letters requesting 10-year abatements on both real property and on equipment for the real estate located at 400 Chamber Drive and equipment that is on order and going to be in there. I believe the SB1 and application letters had been circulated around to council members prior to the meeting. I think you guys are probably in the best position to describe the improvements to the real estate and the equipment. I'm not going to do that justice. So would you like to take a couple of minutes, just introduce yourselves, and explain what you're requesting?
All right, so our equipment, my name is Rick Smart, and the equipment that we are looking for an abatement on has been purchased from Morel. It is a complete line from start to finish through our whole process. It is coming from the Netherlands, and it will arrive roughly in September. I guess you just have to tell me what kind of questions you have on that.
What's the investment?
What's the investment in the equipment?
With all the equipment, it was $9.36 million.
Okay. And based on the number of, or based on the equipment, what kind of employment or how many employees do you think that will help provide within the business?
Over 100 jobs.
Okay. And
We have 103 listed on the SB1.
okay. And what kind of salaries will that provide in total? Or I'm sorry, yeah,
You have
the
the
hourly
average
rate.
It was 24 change.
Okay.
The exact number.
That would be the entry, $24 for a,
Starting wage would be, I think, 20.
this says 31 for your average expected new employee rate.
That's what benefits.
Okay. And that would be the average. I mean, they've got various different pay scales for management, all of that.
I mean, that's been provided over time.
Okay.
Once your equipment arrives, what's the installation and startup?
Roughly, we're projecting roughly a month.
A month.
And it'll arrive, we'll start in the furthest part of our building, and we'll work back towards the front, and roughly a week in every room. There's 4 major rooms that are being renovated. With equipment. And we do have videos of the equipment, if anybody would like to see that also.
I think everyone was given the spreadsheets from Crow, our financial advisor. That kind of breaks down how they paints a picture of what the abatement. I think these are going to be nice tools going forward to help us to look at these more from an objective point of view, which is good. I think this is a major investment in our community for sure. Real property and business and the equipment.
Absolutely, it is.
I will add, just to kind of go through some of the details of the SB1 on the real property, because we didn't mention it. The anticipated investment there is $6,064,690. So that's just that real property improvements that are going to go into it. And then, again, as Rick said, the equipment that will then be installed with those building improvements is $9.36 million. So total investment, is, we'll say, 15, 17 to 17 million. The math.
And that's for renovation changes.
Right.
That's putting what's been put in already.
To Ann's question as well, or point, just a point of note, the 103 jobs, when you look at the total salaries that would create, not the hourly rate, just the total, at a 6.6 million salary number.
And all council and anybody up there is more than welcome to come out anytime and do a walkthrough and try to see how the whole process is going.
When is the actual production estimated to start?
Late November, as of today. We have some variables that could bring it forward, but that's as of today.
Well, we haven't poured any concrete yet.
Understand.
He's saying move forward, you're laughing saying move backward.
We are, tomorrow, our permit set for the state. So we've probably got our documents all done, and I shared from a thumb drive with the documents on with Kurt Betts, so he can go through that and look at it. If you have any questions, we can provide another thumb drive or two. People kind of see what we're planning to do.
For council, there are applications for 2 separate abatements, so they will be treated within 2 different resolutions for consideration. The application is a request for a 10-year abatement on each of the applications, so they're requesting a 10-year abatement on the equipment and a 10-year abatement on the real property. It is discretionary with council as to the degree and extent and time frame for any abatement that would be considered, and it can be separate. They don't have to be the same time frames either, I guess. I just want to point that out for clarification.
I've always looked at tax abatements as kind of a 3-part. There's economic developments, suggestion to the city, there's the applicant's, needs or desires, then it's on the council. But it's really ultimately up to the company to live up to their
Obligations.
So Colt, my question for you is, from an economic development director standpoint, 5-year abatements versus 10-year abatements, and how is that leverage as a tool from your standpoint?
Yeah, I think you typically see 5 years on the personal property because the equipment depreciates at a much quicker rate than what the property does. So that's where you typically see that. Historically, With the city, it's always been a 10-year for both. That's kind of the track record we have. So that's what we submitted. I think in this scenario, with the amount of investment into the equipment, I think extending it that extra 5 years, I think makes sense, because it is, $9 million as compared, because sometimes you get, $2 million or $1 million, even under that on equipment, and so you want to take that down to 5 years, so you're not spreading that smaller amount over, a 10-year period. But with this amount of investment, I would recommend doing the 10-year because it's so large and that equipment should last over that period of time.
Mm-hmm. And, just a clarification that when there's a tax abatement, it's not that they don't pay taxes for 10 years. It's prorated. There's no taxes the first year, and then they start paying taxes over the first year, and by the end of it, after 10 years, they're going to pay 100% of the taxes. So it grows throughout the whole term of the abatement.
I mean, by year 5, they're paying 50% or greater, or 50% or more of their property tax obligation on the improvement. So year 1 is the only year in which a community would not receive the benefit of tax revenue on the improvements.
Do they have separate numbers?
They would. One is designated a declaratory resolution for equipment, and the other is a declaratory resolution for the real estate. What council would need to do first is determine whether or not they would like to declare the area in which the property is located and the equipment would be located as an economic revitalization area, meaning that it would qualify for an abatement. And then the next discussion or point that would need to be clarified would be the time frame for the abatement, and then that would determine the schedule, the tax schedule for that term.
Well, I can make a motion to have the area be qualified as an economic development area.
Okay.
That we have to do first.
It kind of, as to the real property or the equipment.
So you need to do them individually.
They're two separate resolutions. So we'll
do the property first.
Okay, the real property?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Real property, not personal property.
Okay, so there would be a motion for that, and then with the term of the abatement, what's that? Do you have a proposal for
For the
that?
property,
For the real estate.
real estate, 10 years. I say as they submitted, as everyone else has.
Okay.
I'll second that motion. I think it's right in line with what every other business has received. I do like that we have Crow putting out this analysis, so it'll help us make a better decision. The numbers in there seem to jive up, so.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for a 10-year on the real property and to make it a revitalization area, and it's allowable there. So, any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay.
Okay. So then we would, I would entertain a motion to introduce declaratory resolution 2023. I believe that's 8.
I'll make a motion to introduce 2023-8 by short title only.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Okay. Declaratory resolution number 2020-8, City Council of the City of Decatur, Indiana, declaratory resolution for the designation of an economic revitalization area upon the application of IO Properties LLC for the real estate.
Make a motion to pass resolution 2023-8.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay.
And then for the personal property equipment, I'm going to reverse that because I probably said the order wrong, but first determine whether or not the 10-year or 5-year, or whether there's a term appropriate for the personal equipment that would qualify it for an abatement.
I believe, as our economic development director suggested, because of the amount of investment, in his view, as of selling it to others moving forward, this is appropriate to fall under that 10-year as requested. So I would make a motion to move forward with 10 years.
Second.
Motion is second. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay.
And then I would entertain a motion to introduce declaratory resolution number 2023-9.
I'll make a motion to introduce Resolution 2023-9 by short title only.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Declaratory resolution number 2023-9, City Council of the City of Decatur, Indiana, declaratory resolution for the designation of an economic revitalization area upon the application of IO Enterprises LLC for equipment.
Make a motion to pass Resolution 2023-9.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. Thank you guys. Thanks for showing up.
Thank you.
So at this point, this is the declaratory resolution. So this will require the scheduling of a public hearing, which will be set on June 6th, and we'll publish that in the paper. At that time, we'll hold a public hearing. After the public hearing, council will consider a confirming resolution that would confirm the declaratory resolution and actually make the abatement applicable and have it then passed on to the assessor's office for application.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks. Okay.
There's 3 copies.
Should be 9 up there.
Yes.
The equipment is 9. I think I may have only put it on the front. Yeah, I apologize.
Okay. We have, you want to do the fiscal plan first or the petition for annexation first?
Petition for annexation.
Okay, we have introduced petition for annexation to Lake Shores Addition Phase 9 and schedule a public hearing.
I need to find it.
Wait a minute. You might want to manually see that. Okay. You get 2 for equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. New property. Real estate.
Yeah, I think I passed them around.
You get one for real estate.
I passed around 80 and 9.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So the city has received a petition for voluntary annexation from the owners of properties adjacent to Lake Shores Addition. So this would be inclusion of the final stretch of area that would formulate their Phase 9 and the final addition to the Lake Shores Addition. It's comprised of approximately 24.025 acres, and it's located south of Monroe Street Extended and just north of, I believe it's 550 North, and then runs east of Pickle Road. The proposed addition would have 65 lots for single-family residential development and add approximately 2.2 miles of roadways to the city. it does meet, Brett Miller provided a survey along with the petition from the owners that indicates that it does meet statutory contiguity requirements. Over 39% of the proposed annexed area is directly adjacent to existing city property, and about 4 weeks ago, the Board of Works had authorized a fiscal plan to be done with a recommendation to be made as a part of that as to whether or not the annexation was fitting for city. I'm just going to hand those out if you want to take one and pass that around. So I'm passing around the petition for annexation right now.
Is there an extra one there?
So by law, a fiscal plan is required to be done that shows essentially the stress on the city from adding in additional land and population and use of services. And I appreciate all the department heads that have worked in gathering information and kind of making assessments that go into the plan itself, but then it is considered what kinds of stress, what kind of cost would be incurred from annexation, but then also what kinds of revenue sources are brought in, what kinds of benefits the addition to the city would be made available through the annexed area. And when you review the annex or the fiscal plan, overwhelmingly it would be a benefit to the city through both the housing, the increase in population, the use of local resources, the revenues from user fees of city services, along with property tax revenue. So from all sides, it looks to be a recommended addition. So we'll pass around the fiscal plans.
Gonna keep these.
Yeah. So these are being introduced and made a matter of record tonight, or I would ask that they be made a matter of record, and then it would be appropriate to schedule a public hearing on June 6th.
Make a motion to make this a matter of record.
The petition
The petition for voluntary annexation into the city of Decatur.
I'll second.
So we have a motion and a second to make the petition a matter of record. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
and then I would entertain a motion to make the fiscal plan a matter of record as well.
I'll make a motion to make the fiscal plan a matter of record.
Second. Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
And then on June 6th, the public hearing will be for consideration of the annexation. And after the public hearing, there will be an annexation ordinance that will be ready to be introduced, as well as final approval of the fiscal plan and adoption of the fiscal plan.
The fiscal plan, is that part of an ordinance, or is...
It's a statutory requirement to have it be done when a city is required to assess whether or not it makes sense, whether or not their services can handle the addition of property for the uses that are projected to be done within the petition for annexation.
So that would be a motion?
The fiscal plan will be adopted through a motion for adoption. It's just, we're just introducing it tonight.
Right.
It's not being adopted.
Right, but I'm thinking
When
we reach that 24.2 acres will
This is my-
have an assessed value for proposed annexation of $16,250,000. It's a good chunk.
Yes, according to the county assessor, the lots and the development based on the types of single-family residences in the Lake Shores addition over the next 5 years would likely have an assessed value at approximately $250,000 per lot. So that's a total assessed value after completion of development over $16 million.
And another hat I wear is president of the Lake Shores Homeowners Association.
Mhm.
And I've had a dozen phone calls from people anticipating this growth as all the lots have sold. There's a lot of people want to build houses.
Mm-hmm.
As we've seen tremendous growth at the golf course, we also have a Lake Shores.
Yep.
To the city.
Thank you, Hen, for your work on this.
Yeah. Thank you for all, I mean, like she said, thank you to the department heads for getting the information to her to be able to do this fiscal plan.
There's a section 4 cover, and the fiscal plan is available for public view. It is, will be available in the clerk treasurer's office. So, anyone has the ability to come in and review it, but it identifies over the course of a 5-year period capital expenditures that may be involved in promoting or making the annexation possible, annual expenses incurred by the city, along with annual revenues derived from the development of the annexed areas. There's relatively little capital expenditures. There's minimal estimated annual costs involved, and after completion of development, there's a significant amount of revenue through user fees and tax revenue that make this, from just a strictly financial perspective, a strongly recommended project. But then when you look at the overall growth and development of our community and the need for housing, it makes sense there when we're looking at growing our population base, when we're looking at growing potential employees, when we talk with employers and hear them struggling to attract and retain their workforce. Everything about this project makes sense for our community. So it certainly be recommended.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you, Hen.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Are you down to the event applications? You made it that far down yet?
I think we did.
Okay. Okay, I think Jamie had some event applications that Phyllis are going to introduce to us.
The first one is for Armed Forces Day benefit, the wet spot. Chris Johnson is in charge of it at 254 North 2nd Street, and it will be on May 20th at noon to 10 p.m. They're expecting 100 people, and they're requesting to close the alley between Jackson and Monroe and between 1st and 2nd. And then they say we only want half block closed from Jackson to the half block down.
Right.
All together. You got multiple events, do them all together.
I think there are.
Yeah, there's a couple more that we can do today.
Yeah, and this is, I think they did this last
I don't
year
think the other ones
for
are.
Armed Forces Day.
Yeah, several years.
I've done it several years
Yeah,
without a
they've
problem.
been doing it.
I'd make a motion to accept.
I'll second.
Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay.
And the next one is a class reunion of 2013 on August 12th. It's from 6 to 10 p.m. 2 poor guys will be the bartenders, and they will send the liability insurance closer to when it gets to that date. And then they are working to get officers to work on that for that day. And then a DJ will be provided for the plaza for music.
What's the hours on that one? 6 to 10?
6 to 10.
What was the class?
They didn't say, this is 2013.
Sounds like a 10-year agreement. Need a motion on,
Everybody okay with that one?
I need a motion for the class of 2013.
So moved.
Madison Street.
Second.
Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign? Okay.
You're good.
And then the last one is the annual Memorial Day celebration. This came from Fritz Boldemeyer. It's Monday, May 29th, and then they'll be at Jackson Street East at 10 a.m. and on 3rd Street at Superior Court at 10 a.m.
Make a motion to approve.
Second. Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. The chamber's asking for a sponsorship for the flower pot out here of $110 from council.
I'll make a motion to sponsor the pot.
Use myself.
Second.
Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. I have on here a possible discussion of Riverside and other park improvements. Jeremy has left and went to his daughter's track meet, but I think a lot of you have seen that there's a project going on over at the Riverside Center. We now have the fence down, trees down. Josh is over there shooting grade. I think it's going to be a really great project over there for people of all ages, kids all the way through seniors. There's going to be 6 pickleball courts, 1 sand volleyball court, and we are working on a couple shuffleboard courts. That's one project there. The Kikianga project, which has been in the works for a little while, is out across from the hospital at the old nursing home and assisted living. We'll have a dog park. We want to stock that pond and work on the men's and co-ed softball diamond down there. They were, that group was never really given a place to play after they left the Rev complex. So we want to make that whole for them. Those leagues had a lot of players in there over the years, so they want to get that up and running with lights and netting and everything. And the other project is out at Rev Complex. They're taking the 2 pickleball courts that were facing east and west, and they're going to make 3 facing north and south. So with these projects, the Kikianga projects, we will be kicking off the Patrioticity crowdsource fundraising event. It's going to run the month of June and July. I think people have heard about the golf cart parade that's going to be on the River Greenway Trail on June 17th with Downtown Decatur Day. That's an event. That's a fundraising event for this project. With Patrioticity, we need to raise $50,000, and if we raise the $50,000 in the 2 months, they will match another $50,000 towards that project. So what I'm going to be asking, and I don't have the exact numbers yet, is in order to finish all 3 of those projects this summer, I'm probably asking for some ARPA funds to make sure these projects get done. I know we had some money from the Adams County Community Foundation for the one at Rev. I think it's just a little short of what we needed. The county stepped up and helped with the Riverside Center with that project. It's going to be real close. And then Kikianga Festival, or the Kikianga project, I'm not sure where we'll be after all the fundraising. So I know with ARPA funds we have to allocate that or do an appropriation each time that we take money out of there. So I'm not asking tonight because I don't have the dollar amounts exactly, but these are 3 great projects for kids through adults all across the city. So hopefully here in the next month or so we'll have some better numbers and allocate some of that money and get these projects done. So I just want to bring that up. And anybody have any questions on any of those projects?
Do we ever get approved to put a fence down there around the ballpark? Or?
So we have DNR we have DNR's a permit to do it. It has to be done this year. It has to be netted. It has to be able to be moved when the floodwaters come up. There's some good rules, and it took quite a while to get the permit from DNR to get that all approved. So we do have that. Yep, and we have It took almost a year to get FEMA approval to do the dog park on the property that was a buyout. So that's all done, so we're ready to get moving on these projects. Okay, that's an update on that. What did we bring up this morning about the... we need to, I don't know if we need to do it here, but we need to get together with the county again about the Merit Center.
Yes.
So the county did, approve...
Projects moving forward.
The county approved to help with the Merit Center with the heating and air conditioning out there, so we need to get that group together to get to survey that land, where that building's going to go for public transportation and council on aging. So we'll get city and county together to work on that.
Okay.
Set the time. And again, I said it in the council meeting, I want to thank the county. We've had a lot of collaboration in the last 6 months with city and county on some projects, and that's a big thank you to the county for working with us and helping us. You know,
Absolutely.
whatever's good for Decatur is good for Adams County. Whatever's good for Adams County is good for Decatur. So I thank them for working with us on these projects. Did you have anything else?
No.
Department head. Kevin H.
No.
Kevin G. Chief.
We've been at the hospital the last 2 days doing fire extinguisher training, and we've put about 500 people through in the last 2 days.
I heard my wife and daughter both had to do it. Were they able to put the fire out?
I might not have been there
Okay.
at the time they were there.
All right.
I will say Lenny had a hard time putting it out. Because it wanted to put it out in like 5 seconds. So.
We better get that in the paper. Carrie. Kurt.
Just an update on our sidewalk program. Notice your numbers aren't going to be the same as mine. We started out with encumbered money, total $64,557. Finished sidewalks to today's date, we spent $29,114.31. That leaves us $35,443.38. We currently have 13 signed contracts for a total of $28,372.74. That hasn't been started. That leaves us $7,070.64. We're on that.
A lot of that's good news. I mean, that's,
But before long, we might be able to squeeze 4 or 5 more sidewalks out, and then we're going to have to all quits for the year. We'll just have to start taking applications for contracts for next year.
do we know, with all of those, do we have the contractors to be able to get all those projects done?
Yeah, we have them signed.
Okay.
We just need to get to them, and the city needs to get the sidewalks for us.
I think it's great that people are taking advantage of this. I mean, it's been in there for a long time, and we normally don't go through all the money, so if we do, that means there's a lot of sidewalks getting done this summer. That's great.
That's cool.
And in future years, if there's that much community want to participate, we would have to up the budget, potentially. So.
Out of those 13 contracts, there's only 3 that are on the new payment program.
Okay. Okay.
Keep up the good work. It's much needed.
Anything from public? Mary.
I'd like to caution the council on accepting IO's tax abatement before they have fulfilled their promises to the community, such as building a privacy fence and maintaining a low smell in the area. You're going to lose your leverage if you approve it too soon. Might be something to consider, postpone, or hold off on for a little while until they've done their part and proven that they've done their part.
It's a good point, but there are codes that will govern that, and as opposed to the abatement itself.
Well, I'm
But there are
talking about
codes that they because that was part of the agreement, so.
Okay, well, just to make
Yeah.
sure, because they didn't even, I asked him when he left if he had a time frame, and he said, we're working on other things, so it's not a priority, and I don't want you to lose your leverage, that's all.
Thanks for the input. Anybody else? I will mention one thing Victoria brought to my attention. She's been talking about a project of her own that she wants to work on, and I think it's a wonderful idea. I've always thought that the high schools should have more life skills classes in there involved. I mean, a lot of kids get out of school, they have no idea how a home loan works, they have no idea how medical insurance, car insurance works. A lot of them don't know how to change tires on a car. There's a lot of things that kids walk into the real world and have no idea how to do these things. So what she is wanting to do is offer these life skills classes, and we're going to be looking for instructors for some of them in insurance and finance and different things to offer these kids these classes throughout the summer. So look for more of that to come out. I think we're in the early stages, but I think she's wanting to start it next month sometime. So it sounds like we might be at the Riverside Center, but watch for that to come out.
That's
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
And I think the legislature's also pushed that this year.
That's what I was talking to her about.
There is a law that has been passed.
That's what I was trying to tell you. They are trying to get it into the schools to make them. So it's
They have to come up with a
it was such a great idea that the actual legislature's talking about it.
So that was passed this last legislative
Right.
session.
So we'll find out how that fits into the school systems. But I think it's great to just start it this summer.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just
very
don't
good.
want this year's seniors to miss out on anything.
Right.
They're leaving.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Anything from council?
I have good news. We announced that we asked or invited the youth from our 3 high schools and middle schools that they would like have the opportunity to perform at our summer concert series at the break in the show. At this time we have 3 that'll be doing it, our first 3 shows, and I found out from Jamie today that we've got 2 others.
Great.
So I would encourage more kids at your school, and hopefully we get some traction with that and they want to perform on stage.
I actually posted like around the school flyers for it, and I gave some to our teacher, and she showed them to her show practice and stuff. And I tracked down different bands for my talent show, and forced them to sign up.
Good for you. Well, thank you. I think it's going to be great for our community. I really do.
I think if we can use some of the AI, I think I could get up there. It's going to take some help, though. All right.
I think we should make it happen.
We have motion to...
Motion to pay the claims?
Second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.